Good morning. Good morning, Father Roland Nato here, pastor at Blessed Trinity Catholic Church in Orlando, Florida. I come to you today on Ash Wednesday. It is the 17th of February and it's 10:45 in the morning. Today I'm offering you Pastor's Notes number 43. These are current issues in the immediate future of our parish community or things of singular importance that I would like to underline. One of those things that is most important and current, of course, is the launching of our Catholic Appeal. Our OCA, we called it, refers to that annual collection in which all entities of the diocese share their responsibility of supporting the ministries of the Catholic Church in Central Florida. Our Catholic Appeal offers the administrative structures for all parishes, guidelines for their bookkeeping, for their financial operations. It provides human resources services. It provides employment screening services. It provides many kind of professional services that a parish might need that would find it pretty hard to pay and organize just by itself. So this is offered to all the dioceses, through all the parishes of the diocese, I mean. Now, the school system has its own administrative structures with credentialing and all kinds of things with education. And that is provided to the Catholic schools of the diocese. So each parish is assessed a certain amount of money every year, and this is based on their income. And our assessment in these past years has kind of centered around $170,000. Actually, it's closer to 180. This past year, our assessment was $178,000. And I was very happy to announce at the parish last weekend that our cash in hand, the results of last year's campaign, actually generated $191,000. So we were $13,000 over our assessment. This overage, as it is called, is divided into three parts given back to the parish. The first is given to the parish for its current needs. A second third is given to the parish for endowment, concerns of future life in the parish. Some finance committee is going to be mighty happy down the road a piece to see their endowment. And number three, third part of that overage, is given back to the diocese for the care of sick and elderly priests. Our assessment for this coming year went up an uptick, $180,000. The same requirements prevail. We know that the needs of the diocese in this pandemic year is as urgent, if not more so, than in previous years. But we also know that the stresses on finances and families and in society in general is also quite unusual. Whatever will be, obviously, but we are hoping and praying that if you can afford to give and support our Catholic Appeal, especially if you've never given in the past, please consider that a responsibility of participation and membership in our church. This has to do with the practical things of running a diocese in Central Florida. Thank you for your interest and thank you for your support. The theme that the bishop gives to this campaign this year is "Do it for the glory of God." Now, there's a thought that if you give, you don't give begrudgingly. You give for the glory of God. Lenten almsgiving is one of the practices the church has always put forward. So this is a good time to launch our Catholic Appeal that maybe people will find a way to put their dollars to good work for the church. Number two, focus. Well, maybe you've never heard of focus. This is an acronym for Fellowship of Catholic University Students. Now, this is a national organization that goes to the secular campuses of the country to try to build up the Catholic membership of Eucharist and prayer on campus. And they target especially those Catholic students, many of whom have maybe dropped some of their religious practice or never really got fully engaged in religious practice as children, and are trying to develop the leadership potential of these young, very vital people. And we have one of our students, a graduate of our faith formation programs, youth formation programs, who is now actually in the national leadership teams of this national organization. Just to tell you that we, as a bi-monthly contribution, have totaled a support to Savannah of $7,500 over the last year. Now, this I find to be a very good use of dollars for evangelization. What we're trying to do is this group touches the Catholic souls and spirits of these students to rekindle their enthusiasm and energy for the faith. Focus. It's called Fellowship of Catholic University Students. Ash Wednesday today, number 3. Yes, Ash Wednesday. You know, we've had 2 masses today. The next mass is at noontime. And then at 6 o'clock this evening, we have the bilingual celebration of Mass on Ash Wednesday. You recall, we have made a special invitation to all faith formation candidates of all levels and their parents to please participate at the 6 o'clock Mass today as a requirement, a replacement, or as an input in their faith instruction and faith formation. 6 o'clock this evening. Number 4, Men's Club have a great idea. Men's Club have offered to volunteer offer transportation to the elderly to keep an appointment that they have made for vaccination. The transportation is only for those people who actually have an appointment, and it's not necessarily a ticket to just get a vaccination. The people have to have an appointment. And the Men's Club is also offered to help the seniors navigate the online processes and of registration for vaccination appointments. So these 2 services our Men's Club is generously offering free of charge. God bless them in this time of pandemic. It's a practical, very practical service. Stations of the Cross, number 5, during Lent, every Friday after 8:30 Mass. For the people who want to stay, we will have stations, pray the Stations of the Cross on Fridays. Spanish Stations of the Cross will be held on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Number 6, blood drive. On March 14th, we will have a table and a narthex from a professional from the Bloodmobile people to answer questions about who is eligible to give blood, and can people make an appointment at that time, because the red buses will be here 2 weeks later on March 28th. So we'll have a chance to announce this again when the actual drawing of blood takes place. But the table and the narthex will be advance information to tell people, answer their questions about the ins and outs of giving blood and the importance of doing it. I underline the fact that here in pandemic time, this is really another very practical contribution to the common good and to the common health of all our people. We're looking at number 7 here, and that's First Holy Communion. Oh, that's coming up in May. And on Saturday, February 20, will be a meeting of parent and child here in the parish center from 8:45 to 12:30. This is people have been notified and will be reminded by email and text, and I just broadcast it here on the pastor's notes to assure that people hear this invitation and respond to it. Confessions, there's a Lenten practice that has been in the church for centuries. Time to go to confession and during Lent. Here at Blessed Trinity, a communal celebration and an evening of reconciliation is on March 23. That's a Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock. Well, I think that wraps it up, except for some words of wisdom. I want to leave a few words of wisdom for you to think about this week. I call this, somebody sent me this and I found it very interesting. 6 little stories with lots of meanings. Number 1, once all villagers decided to pray for rain. On the day of prayer, all the people gathered, but only one boy came with an umbrella. That is faith. Number 2, when you throw babies in the air, they laugh because they know you will catch them. That is trust. Number 3, every night we go to bed without any assurance of being alive in the morning, but still we set alarms to wake up. That is hope. Number 4, we plan big things for tomorrow in spite of zero knowledge of the future. That is confidence. Number 5, we see the world suffering, but still we get married and have children. That is love. And finally, number 6, on an old man's shirt was written a sentence. I am not 80 years old. I am sweet 16 with 64 years of experience. That is attitude. So I pray today that you have a happy day and live your life like these 6 stories. Remember, good friends are rare jewels of life, difficult to find and impossible to replace. God bless you. Please stay safe. Goodbye for now.